So for the live training, pretty much what we do is just whatever you want to do. So uh, I give at least a block of an hour of time when I do live training. So I dedicate at least an hour to be able to do the live training. And then it's either one person or two people or 30 people or 50 people or however many people join the live training. And then we just do whatever you want. So whoever engages. Some people, obviously, they just sit there and they watch and they listen. Some people actually engage, but it's literally hands-on, whatever you guys want to do. So you can join
Okay.
this live training. So this is completely free live training. Uh, it's 35 hours of live training where you'll basically go, and actually I'm probably going to go in and update that, but uh, you'll basically learn anything that you could want about bots, and you'll go from noob to ninja. It's every Saturday, so it's every Saturday in December, and it is 7 hours. It is 7 hours on Saturday. So
Wow.
uh, there's 5 sessions, so it's you don't have to go to every session if you don't want to. If you do, then that would be the advisable thing to go to every one, because if you go to every one, then literally I would guarantee you that whenever you're done, that you will never really need to ask another question about MiniJat for the most part, unless you really want to incorporate some advance for what most people would ever want to do with their bots. You'll know how to do over that and beyond some. You would then be able to at that point be a rock star in this in this group or other bot groups, and literally just start to create a huge following for yourself just by being able to give out value and answer other people's questions, because they don't know as much as you do because they've never went to that training before. The next class, I'll do a class after this initial class, and it will obviously be a paid class that will cost like at least $500 to attend the class. But you'll learn literally anything you could possibly want to know. And that's because the format of the class is you just ask me questions and I'll go in and just create and tell you, either do it right in front of you and show you how to do it, or go in and tell you how to do it depending on what you want to do. If you want to do something really, really complex that's going to take 14 hours to do, I'm not just going to do that right in front of you
Sure.
for 14 hours. I'm going to tell you how to do it. But most of the things I'll just go in and show you how to do or tell you how to do. So, and then the classes are actually recorded. So like this class will be recorded, the classes are recorded, and then they're actually put inside of the demo bot that we do everything from. So they're put inside the demo bot as premium content. So the stuff that we do is actually put inside, and that's how the training is actually brought to you for free, because what happens are the things that we put inside, like the things that we do together. So like, for example, if you want to do a dark post, or you want to do some of the stuff that we just did was a daily horoscope. So we did some horoscope sequence that basically takes an RSS feed and grabs data from an RSS feed or grabs data from a Google spreadsheet and pushes that out to whatever the horoscope is of the actual user. And then if they want that daily, they can go in and get that daily automatically or whatever. So all those things are also recorded, because they're recorded as part of the live training session. So those things are actually recorded. And then there's how-to videos that are put inside the bot teaching how to do that thing, which is also a piece of premium content. So inside the bot, if you try to access these videos, like this video here, if you try to access it, the bot will first look to see if you have a paid subscription. And if you do have a paid subscription, then he'll deliver you that piece of content. If you don't have a paid subscription, then he won't deliver you that piece of content. But that's about to change. I'm going to add a third layer of logic there, that if you don't have a paid subscription, then he will deliver you one-off pieces of content, like not every piece of content, but one-off pieces of content for some other valuable thing from your side, like to go in and share my page or share somebody else's page, or comment on somebody's ad or something like that. Like do some value thing that can help, that someone else may want to pay for, like someone else may want to pay for you to go in and share their post. So you could just do that in exchange for the piece of content. And I'm just going to create that just as a demo to show how you can do whatever you want in a bot. So that's pretty much the
Awesome.
format of training. So whatever you want to learn, there's someone else here too, J7. So whatever you guys want to actually learn and want to see do or want to talk about, I mean, this is your time. You got at least an hour.
Awesome. Well, I'll probably just take a minute of your time, maybe. I mean, I think I'm still sort of testing things and figuring things out and seeing how it all works. But I basically built out a flow from a JSON, right? Because I'm going to start testing an ad to see if I can, convert this into leads and all that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot. Would you be willing to, like, if I shared my screen, just like glance at what I have and say, hey, that looks good, or like, oh, dude, you're way off, or would that be okay? Or
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if I don't, cause I understand you're basically just doing all this out of the goodness of your heart. So I don't want to like abuse
No.
that.
So I don't want you to really I mean, I don't honestly to be I'm a no bullshit guy. So
Yeah,
I'm not a censored person, and that I have a great heart. I have a really great heart, and I'm not really doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm doing this out of my intuition for business logic. So I'm trying
sure,
to
for sure.
I'm trying to go to, and to tell you honestly, because I don't have it, I'll just tell you because I don't have it on a physical recording. So it'd be great to do it right now. What I'm trying to do is first, I think that's you, Jay, that's going crazy there. So what I'm literally trying to do is implement something called a free roam policy. So I'm a software engineer, and what I do is software development. So I'm a core engineer. I've always been an engineer at heart. And then I went to college and got 2 degrees in computer engineering. And I've been an engineer professionally my whole career. That's almost everything I've ever done other than do manufacturing, like lean manufacturing. I was a journeyman machinist. I used to, build stuff like take pieces of metal and then go look at some blueprint and then convert that block of metal into some whatever that thing was, some gear or some mechanical part that goes into a machine. So anyways, I started a company. I started a software firm, and that company, I started that about 3 years ago. Started a second office of it 2 years ago. So we got 30 engineers on staff now that work for us full time. And what I'm trying to do is actually go in and set something up called a free roam policy. So you can find out more about that right here. So basically in this funnel, which is this bot training funnel. In this bot training funnel, there is an opt-in. So you can go in and you can, opt in for free for this class. There's also initial action that you can take. So there's an action that you can take where you do get a very huge value. You can take that action to prove that you're actually an action taker, get all that stuff of value if you don't want to just go with the freebie. And then from there, once you go there, then that's this right here. If you don't want to take the action and you just want the freebie, then you get routed to that thank you page. If you do want to take the action, then you jump across that thank you page and go to this take action page where you actually make the payment. And then there's a one-time upsell here that talks about investing in my dream, where you can find out about the free roam policy. But I need that snippet or this snippet that I'm creating right now that I can annex to that video right there that actually physically lays out on video what the free roam policy is. And essentially what that is right now what we do as a company is we mostly work for other software firms, and we have a few clients that aren't software firms, but 70% of our revenue comes from other software firms, meaning that we've got about 21 developers that are contracted out to other software companies, because those software companies don't want to hire another developer full time because it cost a company about $150,000 minimum to hire a full-time software developer in the United States. And with that, most states, you just can't hire somebody and then fire somebody. So if you hire somebody and you hire them because you have an extra 300 hours worth of development you need to allocate to some project, but now after that's done, you're not getting any new projects. You just can't fire that guy. You got to keep paying him. So they basically just give us overflow work. They outsource overflow work, and they work on kind of like temporary contracts with our engineers and just hire them for 40 hours or hire them for 300 hours, whatever overflow work that they need, where they know at any time if they need to increase hours or decrease hours, they can, and they don't have any actual contract with the engineer because they're just getting them on a month-to-month basis. So right now, everything that we do is what other people tell us to do. Other than me, I kind of do what I want. because I'm the I'm the boss and I started the company. And to watch my engineers to do like what they're told to do and not really what ultimately they want to do and what they're really, really passionate about, it really turns me off, because I can see business wise how inefficient and unproductive it is. Even if they operate at a very high level of productivity, ultimately, if they're not doing what they're really interested in and really passionate about, they're never going to be as most optimal. So I want to be able to put them in a free roam policy where all the cost-based revenue to run our company comes in from some residual stream, either from subscription-based revenue to the several softwares that we have that are SaaS softwares, just like MiniChat, a software that you pay a monthly fee to use, or content-based revenue, people paying a subscription to access some content that I've created or that we've created. That way the engineers can literally just be in a free roam policy, and they can pick what they want to do. They can say, hey, I'm really passionate, or I'm really interested in this technology or that technology, and if I had some time and these devices, I could solve this problem, or I could create this utility, which, whether it be a game or whether it be some other utility, they could go in and just do that, and whatever they were really passionate about, as long as they were bright, self-motivated, and capable of actually doing and accomplishing the results, which are some of the core qualifications that you have to have in order to pass an interview and actually get hired by our company. We really want to see that you actually have that. I don't want to hire people that don't impress me and give them money, because that's just stupid. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to really implement that free roam policy. So to do that, obviously, I need a whole lot of exposure. First, I need the content right that people would pay for, and I need a lot of exposure. So hence, I mean, honestly, I need 300 people that can spare $100, that can spare $100 a month, and it not hurt them at all to finance that actual dream, because literally that's all it cost me to run a company that has 30 engineers on staff. Because part of my last job, I was sent overseas to work with overseas company and set up basically an outsourcing channel. So after going through, I spent a whole year working at a major firm, and my whole job was to go to another company and interview companies and come up with this scoring matrix of different software companies that we could engage with to do the same thing that software companies are doing with my company, just outsource overflow work to and give overflow work to, and kind of broaden our bandwidth. So interview them, score them, hire them, and then set up a communication channel with them, and then go through the process to set some hierarchy of management and oversight to watch over them while they basically do our work. So after doing that for them, and then watching them lay off a bunch of people at the company that I was working for, and then some complications with my dad and his health, I kind of deviated and became a freelancer, started freelancing. I quit my job, started freelancing, and then decided to essentially do the same thing myself. I already had a lot of contacts overseas, so I just basically moved overseas, started a second office, and started the development firm overseas. So that's why I can run a company for $30K a month and have 30 engineers plus 4 other support staff, and it only cost me $30K a month. Whereas in the US, that would cost me, God, what would that cost me in the US? So 30 times at least 9. So 300,000, at least 300,000, but more realistically, probably about $500,000 is what it would cost me. $500,000 a month to run the company if I had 30 engineers in the US. But here it only cost me $30K. So anyways, I'm not really so much doing it out of the goodness of my heart. You could say essentially I am, because out of the goodness of my heart, not really out of the goodness of my heart, really out of still my business intuition, I want my engineers to be able to do whatever they're passionate about, as long as they're productive. Because if they're passionate about what they're doing and they're really interested in it, those guys, instead of working for 9 hours for their salary, for the same salary, actually probably for less salary, they will work 12, 13 hours, because they're doing what they want. They're working on like their own thing, their little side project that they have at home that now becomes their full-time job, and they're actually getting paid for that. So that whole thing that they're working at home, they're obviously they're going to be working at that for work, so they're going to work more. And plus, they're going to be happier, and essentially, they're going to make cooler things, right? They're going to create a lot cooler things. So that's why I'm actually doing it, to go through the process to actually, by the end of this first training series, I'll have all the content that I need to actually set all that in place during the first quarter. As long as I run 3 more training sessions during the first quarter to go in and actually recruit the people that will now be consuming the content. So anyways, yeah, it's actually your time, not my time. And I'm not trying to do that self-promotion on these videos, but I needed that just to annex to that video because I don't have it yet. And the class is going to start in a week. But anything you want to do, man, we'll do
That's
that.
awesome. Dude, that's really cool, by the way. That's like a really cool business dream, whatever you want to call it, right? Putting that stuff together. Yeah, it's awesome. Love it. Well, let me do this. Let me just like share my screen really quick, and you can just take like a 2-second look and say, yeah, it looks like you've got something interesting, or like, oh, dude, this is terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see here. Okay, let me know if you're seeing it on your end.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so basically the idea is that this is going to be an application process, a lead generation process, right? So we are a house flipping education company, and what we do is we have an application process to join like our mentoring group. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is basically build out this whole flow that will walk people through, based on the answers they give, it's going to turn them into one type of lead or another for our sales team. And really, I guess just from a high level, like, is this like totally not a best practice to have just like massive amounts of messages going one right after the other? Or is that like, am I going to lose people? You know what I mean? Because basically I'm just like selling like one of our programs right here. And it's just kind of like, is that overkill, or should I rethink how I have this set up? It's kind of what I'm wondering on a high level.
Well, at a high level, without actually looking at it at a high level, I would say, yeah, it's way overkill at a high level because
okay,
they're not asking for all that. From a high level, I would say if you're going to deliver all that content, you'd have several interactions from the user asking for that content. If not, at that point, you don't even know what you're doing. You don't really know if you're engaging the user. You're just dumping content out, and you don't know. You don't know if he's consuming it or what he's actually doing. So dump a few pieces and then give a call to action. Especially, I mean, in this whole bot, what you're really wanting to do in this delivery of content is to acquire information and drive users to specific actions, right? So
I've got a little bit of that, but it's just, I think my reason for wanting to show you this is because I'm like, I feel like this is too much, and it's just, I'm going to lose people somewhere in here, they're just going to tune out, So I think maybe what I'll do is try to trim it down or something, or send people off site. Like, so instead of trying to do it all through Messenger, maybe I just send them to a link where it has more information or something like that. I don't know. But that's kind of what I was wanting to hear. Like, yeah, that's way too much, right?
I wouldn't really say send them off site, because you could do the whole thing in Messenger. And there's no reason not to do the whole thing in Messenger. Now, when can you start? So right now, I wouldn't say send them off site. When I would say send them off site is I would say send them off site once it's widely available to have the Messenger chat. Because once that's widely available, once it's widely available to have the embedded chat widget on your website, then I'm going to say always send them off site, because now it's like marketing magic. You have this guy on your site, and you have this guy in the Messenger, and you can be your bot can be delivering him messages while he's navigating your site. And then probably if you're an engineer, you'll most likely be able to build. You will most likely be able to build an interface bridge, and that's where it's going to get kick-ass cool. And I'm excited about it, because through that bridge, you'll be able to have let's say a bot on your page, per se, like a bot that controls your web page, and then the Messenger bot, and be able to communicate between the two of those, so you could actually change content on the website, on your website that you drove them to, as they interact with the actual bot. So you could change pages and do all sorts of cool stuff, but we have to wait for that to be widely available. So right now, I wouldn't say really necessarily send them off site or anything like that. But at least break these down into, I would say you probably want to break these down into more modules where you're getting some interaction for them before you actually deliver the content. Not that you're not going to deliver all the content, but you're going to be delivering it, right? And as you deliver it, you're going to be collecting more input from them. They're just going to be doing something. And it could be as simple as you go and deliver a few message, and then have a call to action that says, tell me more, right? So
Yeah.
now they're just hung up there, because then what you can do is you can go to the beginning of this flow and you can go to the beginning of this flow and start a tag to let you know that they have entered this flow, and then start a tag whenever they exit the flow, right? So now you can go in and keep track of who's went through this process, who's ever seen this process, who's never seen this process, who's seen this process and got stuck in it and didn't finish it, who's seen this process and has actually exited this process, right? And then if you have multiple exits, have different tags to represent each exit. That way you can do some really cool conditional checking and some really cool segmentation, right? Because you can go in and see if somebody went through this flow, if they haven't pushed this flow back out to them, if they have, did they actually finish it? Because if they didn't finish it, maybe I want to push this flow back out to them because they started, but they never finished. Because
awesome. Wow. I gotta be on your training. I gotta go sign up for that right now. Man, there's so much I haven't even thought of here. Okay, cool. I mean, this is that's great. So basically you say like add a tag right here as they start, and then
like, you can add that tag as an action tag, by the way. You can add that tag as the very first thing that happens.
Oh, like, well, but would this work right here though? Just like have it pass through that and add the tag in?
But the first thing I would do is put that tag. So just delete just delete that first little squiggly bar. Delete that guy.
There we go.
And then drag that starting step, the green thing, just grab that green thing and then drag it right there. Yeah, and now just move that thing. Yeah.
And I can like put this, I don't know, over here or something.
Yeah. Now you should, for me, and best practices for me, whatever it is that you're creating right here and it looks like a growth tool, that thing totally has to change. That name has to, it looks like you got a test 7. So yeah. So that thing, the particular message is, and for me, a best practice is you should not be building this through a growth tool. What you should do is you should go over there to where it says content, and then you should click on that, and then you should hit new content. And then you should name this flow. What does this flow do, right? Some generic name, and you should build that right there, right?
And then I can tap into that from other growth tools. Right? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
You can start another flow and then just dead into flow, right? If somebody wants to do something, you can just end that flow. Right.
Nice.
So.
Okay, is there any way to copy what I've already built, or do I got to rebuild it?
Yeah, no, totally a way to copy. And these are all things, these are good things. These are all things you should definitely know. So you could just hit the control. You can just hit control, or no, it's shift. So you can hit shift. Yeah, and then just drag what you want, drag wherever you want and all that stuff. You can always just hit control C.
Nice. Oh, wow. This is so cool. What is your website again?
I have lots of websites, man, but the one you
were showing me earlier.
Yeah, the one about this training is let me send it to you.
Just so I don't forget. Oh, okay, cool. Let's pull that up. Okay, cool. I'll have that pulled up for later. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Okay, well, this is awesome. I mean, that's just those couple things alone. So you'd say build this out as content and then have the growth tool tie into that. And that's awesome.
Just link right in and definitely give those growth tools some meaningful names. What does that growth tool actually do, right?
Yeah, this is all just me messing around. So.
Right. You're just learning. But at the same time, you got to understand, even you just messing around right there, if you keep doing that, you're going to create what I call a clusterfuck.
For sure.
At some point, it becomes hard to recover. And what you naturally want to do is just hit the reset button, and you may lose a bunch of.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate you taking the time with all that. I'm going to go check out your site again and probably sign up for the rest of it, I don't know if I'll be able to make 7 hours on Saturdays every week, but I'll definitely do what I can. So that's
Well,
awesome.
if you see here, if you see here this offer, you see here this offer right here. You see with this offer, you get $47 worth of ad spend. You get a one-on-one session with me, a 1 hour one-on-one session. You get some other stuff, and you do actually get access to all the replays. That's the only way you can get access to the replays. So if you can't make the training, if you don't want to make the training, or you can't make the training, maybe you want to and you just can't because you have other commitments, then you can always take action, and then you'll get those replays, including this one right here.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to do that right now because I'll pay you $47 just for the 20 minutes we spent together. This has been super awesome. So
Well, that's awesome. So you definitely want to subscribe to my bot then, and then send me a message in the bot because we can talk a lot more because I can do anything that you want. Like I said, I basically, I can't say that I own, but I own for a certain amount of time 30 engineers. So
that's pretty super cool. All right. Well, I'm going to go sign up for that right now. Like I said, I don't know if we'll be able to make it live on all those trainings, but I appreciate the time for sure. I got to hop off and get
no
back
problem.
to him. But thanks so much, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yep. Have a good one, Kyle. So Jay, what's up, man? Are you there? Because it's just me and you now, buddy.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just making some coffee. I'm the guy from the other day with sent you that video in Messenger with the green Evo.
Yeah, I remember that. The car, right? You sent me a car.
Yeah, the dark post.
Yeah. I actually think I think I just turned that ad off today, by the way. Honestly.
Yeah,
I think I have.
You need to keep it on. It worked out good though. That's why I came back here just to see what else is going on because he gave some good value. So I was like, you know what? Let me see what he's doing.
I'm just doing whatever people want to learn, man. So whatever people, that's exactly what I'm doing. And so there's a reason to the madness. Obviously there's a reason to everything, but that's exactly all I'm doing is just trying to provide a lot of value. So even if you look here where I encourage people to take action right here, and people will take action, and you can get enough people to take action. And that's the thing. Literally even an arbitrage of $10 a month, man. If you hustle and you get enough people who will give you that arbitrage $10 a month, most people won't even notice $10 a month. And if you get enough people, think you get 3,000 people to give you that. There's a shit ton of people. There's 6 billion people in the world. You get 3,000 of them to give you $10 a month. Well, you're making $30K a month. There's my free roam policy.
Right.
But that's all this says. Is it just says if you give enough value that you don't actually you don't have to worry about money. If you add enough value, you never have to worry about money again, because if you give value, and we've literally I've got another training session that's going on, and like this whole bot training session is like a module in that training, right? And it's like the whole process of going through, because literally like that there's this bot training where I'm showing you how to create chat bots and do all that stuff, just create chat bots. But that training is part of a module that is showing you how to basically be a digital nomad, basically just go in and make your money by yourself, be an entrepreneur, just work on your own. And the test case is literally just to go in and take something, become a subject matter expert, and don't even have to actually become it. It helps obviously if you do become it, but you don't actually have to become it. You just have to find enough people that have already became it and released the content and went through the process, and then grab their content, regurgitate it, and curate their content, and then re-release that out. So it's pretty straightforward. You just have to kind of go through a process. And in order to do that, the first things you have to be able to do is give enough of this value, because the average person, if you provide them value and you provide them value and you provide them value and you don't actually ask anything in return, by the time you ask something, they'll give you something in return. And the longer you wait to actually ask them for something in return, the much more you'll be able to ask them for, in return. The more value that you provide without trying to ask something or sell something, the more value you continuously provide. Then whenever you do try to sell something, you can ask for a lot more. You can get a lot higher ticket. And what you'll see will actually happen is, if you do it right, you don't even have to sell somebody. People will literally just want to give you money. And that's the cool thing. But literally, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just here for you. So it's just me and you right now. So
I'm just making coffee right now. So let me just finish up this. And I mean, I really don't have many questions because I got the majority of how the chatbot works. My thing now is just getting the content that's efficient to the user that's going through the sequence of the funnel within the chatbot to commit. And you just said something that I'm going to implement. Instead of asking for anything up front, just give them a whole shitload of content and let them decide what they want to do towards the end.
Definitely give them some value without really trying to get something. I mean, now there's certain things that don't try to get anything of value. I mean, maybe get their name and their email address right. Maybe even put something before that. Maybe just say, hey, here's something valuable. Now that you have that valuable thing, now I'll try to get your name and your email address. I'll ask you, I'll engage you. Do you want something else that's even more valuable? Yes, okay, give me your name and your email address. Now I'll give you some more stuff. I mean, eventually, you want
my thing is all about the sale. So, like, I get emails. Like, I grab their email, I grab everything. They go to my site and everything. So that's part of the funnel. But the main thing of the chatbot is basically to answer the questions, get them going, let them know about the opportunity that I'm offering them, and then making the sale. Now, what I want to do is implement maybe some type of persuasion within my ad copy or whatnot to get them to commit. And it's basically what I do is I do work from home opportunities. Been doing it for a long time, and now I want to implement this chatbot to actually interact more with these people.
Okay.
And then take it from there. So I'm just playing a lot with the whole funnel of the verbiage inside the chatbot itself to see what works, what the general. I need to see data now. Now I'm just running traffic through it to see what type of engagement I'm getting with it, and I'll tweak it as I go. You just sense what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch around the order, and instead of trying to get them into to commit so quick, just give them a whole bunch of content to go through, and then let them commit on their own.
Give them 35 hours of your time for free. Give an impression that your time's super valuable. And mine is, man. I got a whole company that's actually dependent on me, man. I got 30 software engineers that work for me. And literally when they can't figure out what to do, they come to me and ask me to fix it for them, or ask me to help them, or ask me to teach them how to do it.
What software do you guys develop? What type of stuff have you already developed?
Yeah, so we've developed all sorts of stuff, but we develop web applications. So we develop web applications. We built this cool thing that's actually, it's in a prototype stage, but we just use it for ourselves. And it's called an intercept. But mostly what we do in our day job is we build software. So we build web applications and we build mobile applications, mostly specialize in building backend APIs that are data connectors.
Okay. And that's basically, in what language do you guys code in?
Mostly PHP frameworks and JavaScript frameworks. So like Node. I mean, there's only really a few other things. So we don't do much Ruby, and we don't do much .NET, like C stuff. So, and we don't really do that much native app development. We do have native app developers, but most of what we do, the bulk of what we do, is build out APIs either in some PHP framework or some JavaScript framework, because most of our clients are software firms, and that's what they outsource to us. That's what they give us, is they give us all the back-end APIs, and their guys just kind of do the front-end aesthetic stuff, and we do all the database stuff, and then just all the back-end APIs to to fetch data, manipulate data, and then we do all the front end APIs to actually do the logistics and the logic on the front end.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, so like right now, like I said, all I'm doing right now is just running traffic through it and seeing what type of data I get back from it, how many people are going through the sequence of the funnel, how many people are, where they're stopping at, are they asking questions? You know, I'm just trying to get data to reevaluate the bot as the content of the chat to see what I need to tweak, you know?
Right.
But it actually worked. What you showed me the other day worked, and I'm really thankful for that, man. I stayed up, no lie, probably like 40 hours trying to get that shit to work. And it was crazy is I did the same exact steps that you did. What I did notice is I was doing it on ads that are already running. So it wasn't like a brand new ad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I guess it doesn't work that way.
It should work fine on ads that are already running. I mean, that should work too.
I couldn't get it to work. So what I do is I made all brand new ads, made new ad sets and everything. And then it's working fine, like flawlessly now.
And you said you focus on providing people home business opportunities?
Yes.
So maybe you want to check this out, man. This is our version of a home business opportunity. So I don't have a lot of people doing this. I have 4 people actively doing this. But this home business opportunity basically allows you to start your own SaaS company. So we built this software kind of as a demo piece. So we don't have this software in production. It is in production, but we don't do any marketing whatsoever for this software. We don't do any marketing as a firm whatsoever. We do no marketing. We've never done marketing. That's all been in charge of me. And I've just fueled everything in this company from the contacts that I made as a freelancer and the contacts that I had from being an engineer myself, being a software developer and a project manager myself in major software firms. So like I said, we don't do any marketing for this. We never have. We never will do marketing for this. We built it mostly as a tool to really help us in our day-to-day communications, and also as a functional demo piece to really highlight the capabilities that we're able to do. So this home business opportunity, what this home business opportunity does is allows you to go in and basically white label this software. And this software is a two-way communication platform that focuses specifically on voice calls, like phone calls and text messages. So this may be something that if you're interested in like providing home-based opportunities to people, and that's something that you're doing already, this just allows you to white label this software, and then you sell the software as a service. So you can get businesses to sign up to pay to use the software, a monthly fee, because it provides a great benefit for them. It allows them to go in and get a phone number. Quickly get a phone number from like any place in the US. So they can just pick a toll-free number, or they can pick a local number local to their area. And then they can basically do anything that they want through that phone number. Make phone calls, send text messages, receive text messages. They can make IVRs like the options menus. Press 1 to talk to Mary, press 2 to talk to Sally. And they can send those. They can just create those IVRs at the push of the button. They can create an autoresponder really kind of similar to ManyChat, except for that works for text messaging. You go in and create keywords and give your responses for those keywords. So that's all this opportunity does. This is a really cool software. I can give you more information about it offline if you want, but maybe you want to check this out because it just allows you to white label that opportunity.
All right, so basically the opportunity is the software allowing the user to do what again?
It allows them to white label it. So basically it allows them to license the software and then launch the software behind their own domain and sell it as if it's their software and they've developed it. So
okay, and the software does what?
The software is it's a magical two-way communication system. So it allows you to get phone numbers and then go in and send out text messaging, so you can do text message marketing. It allows you to go in and make phone calls, call people. It allows you to go in and generate massive amount of leads. So let's say, for example, you want to target some area and you want to target dentists in that area, or you want to target restaurants in that area. You can just use this search right here, and it will go in and create these different lists like Dallas marketing, where somebody's targeted Dallas and they've targeted marketing. And then you can go in and say, hey, how many people use an actual cell phone with their Google listing? And you can get all those guys, and then you can just select them all, and you can send them out a text message if you want to. And you can pick from one of your templates because you want to send them. And then you can pick from one of your phone numbers because you want to market from a particular phone number that, let's say, possibly matches your template, because you may send this guy, you may send this same lead 6 different text messages about 6 different things from 6 different numbers, all essentially marketing to them about the same thing, waiting for, because you're cold marketing to them. Let's say you could put them and you can call them. You can send them a pre-recorded call if you want to. You can just record some audio and then call them and make an outbound call. You can use one of those IVRs, so you can do something, which is you can do something like make an IVR that says, hey, this is John. I wanted to talk to you about a home business opportunity. If you have time to talk, press 1. If you want to schedule a time for later, press 2. If you don't want to be contacted, press 3. And now you can literally just make that over here in the IVR section. And then once you make that, you can queue up all these people and just send that as an outbound call to them, and they answer the phone, and now they hear the option menu. You can send them out text messages, multimedia messages. You can put them in a browser dialer, meaning you can call them one at a time. So you can send them out emails. You can assign them to other people that work for you. So you can see, like, I can just go in and call this guy, and now I'm calling him right from the browser. And I can see that the Google subscriber that I called. Were you able to hear that?
No.
Okay. So, but literally that's what happened. You can't hear it because it's in my computer audio, and I probably need to do something in here to actually.
All right, so it's kind of like a B2B thing. Like if you had an agency.
Yeah, it could be a B2B thing, but it could also be a B2C thing. If you're a company, then you can go in and have all your clients in here and send them out text messages or call them. If you run Facebook ads, right? If you run Facebook ads and you run those lead ads, you can sync, and then as soon as people fill out that ad, they're automatically added in here where you can set up a campaign. That campaign is really similar. It's really similar to this sequence that you see here. So if you see the sequence here.
But all the numbers that you're calling are all businesses.
They don't have to be. I mean, they don't have to be. They don't have to be businesses. No. I mean, you can actually go in here. You can generate leads of people who have just registered a domain. Anybody that registered a domain yesterday, you can just go in and get their information. You can create an opt-in list so that people can text promo to your phone number. That could be a consumer, right? Maybe you sell something to consumers, and you can say, hey, text discount to this phone number, and I'll send you a promo code. And that just built your list. Now you have, as those people text that in, they're added to one of your lists here where you can market to them. You can send them out phone calls, or you can send them out text messages. You can, whenever somebody buys something from you, obviously, maybe you want to call that person, and then everything's recorded in here. I mean, not every business, but a lot of businesses still have traditional communication, like voice communication, phone communication. So in here, everybody, I mean, you have an entire record of that. So now if you go to anybody that you've ever talked to, you'll see the entire record of all the communication that you've had with them. There was email, there's phone calls. Want to know what you talked about with them about on that day? Well, there's the audio, there's a recorded call. Just listen to it. So this operates like a virtual phone. You have a business phone, people can call it. And this phone number you can use as your business phone number, or you can even use as a personal phone number, and it operates as like a virtual gateway between. You don't have to have a traditional phone anymore, and if you want a traditional phone, then you can basically put this cloud number in between you and that phone, where things are first routed to this number, and then you can smart route them whether you want to send them to your personal device or not.
Okay, all right.
You can send
almost
emails.
Like could be like almost like a digital data center.
Yeah, and you know what an autoresponder is, right?
Yeah.
So you can set up your autoresponder here, and your autoresponder is capable of doing emails, text messages, and live phone calls. So now let's say somebody submits your ClickFunnels page and they come in as a lead. Well, you can dump them automatically in here to a list, and also dump them automatically to this campaign, to your autoresponder, where you instantly send them out an email, and then 5 minutes later you text message them, and then 3 minutes later you call them because he's a really hot lead and you want to be in contact with him, and you know you got a high ticket, and in order to make that sale, you need to respond to him really quickly, and you need to have a verbal communication with him. So you can do all that type of stuff in here. This is a magical software. And that's all this opportunity is. It allows you to basically take that software and put it behind your own domain, put it at your own website, set your own prices for what you want to charge people to use that software, and keep all the revenue. So,
Right.
So now let's say you charge $500 a month for your local businesses to go in and actually use that software. So you get 20 businesses to sign up because you go hustle and knock their doors every day. So now you're making 10K residual, or let's say you charge them 150 and you get 10 businesses that will actually go in and sign up. So now you're making $1,500 residually.
Okay.
So most business opportunities require you to sell something, right? In this instance,
Yeah.
you're just selling a software. You're selling a SaaS software, and it's a very useful software. Like I said, it allows you to do anything that a traditional phone would do, but much, much more. Not as cool as bots, though. Definitely not as cool as MiniChat.
And what's the buy-in for something like that to resell it?
So right now I got it priced at $497 is what I have it priced there at.
Okay. And then the next person would have to come in and buy it. For me to make money, I would have to either double that, or like, how does that work?
For you to make money, I would just give you a deal. I would just give you a deal. Good night, Topos. I would just give you a deal, and then you would then go in and upsell it. Yeah.
Okay.
So how's that coffee?
Oh, it's perfect. Better than Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah, last night I set up the automatic responder when somebody sends the Facebook page a message. And I woke up today and I seen a whole bunch of messages. I'm like, why didn't this thing work? So I go into the back office and oh, I didn't activate it. Ooh.
Yeah, that's something that you really want to do, and a lot of people don't even. Honestly, a lot of people do that. Is most of your growth tools, you actually have to activate them. So most of the growth tools that you go in and make, that one you don't have to. The JSON you don't have to. This link you do have to. Comment growth tools you do have to. I think it is only the JSON that you don't have to activate, because it doesn't even make sense to activate it or not activate it, because it's literally just going to render you JSON, and you're going to give that JSON to Facebook, and now you've given it to Facebook, and Facebook's holding the JSON. So activating and deactivating it doesn't do anything. Facebook's holding your JSON. So
Right.
Other than that, I'm pretty sure everyone you have to actually go in and activate.
Yeah, it was just late last night. I just woke up and was like, oh, shoot. Why didn't it work? And I went to the back office like, oh, all right, let's got to activate it. And I got a message just now, and it worked. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, the bots are really awesome. So that's why I picked the bot training to be my
gateway.
Yeah, my golden egg piece of content. All the gurus have their little golden egg contents, and the bots really fascinate me. I've been building them for a long time. Like the first bots that I built in Python for this, the first real bots that I built. And I would say the first real bots that I built were actually on macros, and they were for Facebook. And that was back when I was in college. So that's kind of part of how I funded all my beer money and just expense money in college tuition, was having Facebook bots that were literally just macros and because when Facebook first started getting popular, you could easily sell likes, and that was a really common thing to sell likes between 10 cents to 25 cents per like, and to sell friendships. That was a really common thing, to sell friendships between 50 cents to like $5 a friendship, and to sell Facebook accounts. And that was a really common thing, to sell Facebook accounts between like $100 or a couple $1,000, depending on how many friends that you got that Facebook account up to. So if you were smart like me, you could go in and write macros that would just create Facebook accounts, and you needed to pre-populate them with a little bit of information. But after doing that, you could write your macros to have, your accounts all friend each other, and then have those accounts all be posting, just random things being read from a file, and then have those other accounts going in and commenting random things on each other, so that now you could hand over an account to somebody that looks like it's got some 3,000 friends and it's real active and shit, but it's really just all macros, and people would pay it. And that worked really great until Facebook decided, like, hey, we're $1 billion company now, and we gotta really do things seriously. So, and then I built something for this.
I've been in the business for a long time. I was using chatbots back in the AOL days.
Yep. So it's they're awesome little things, and those have been some long days from now.
Yeah, AIM chatbots, messengers, actual chat room bots, all types of stuff. I've been in this space for a long time. Let's see what else is going on.
So is there anything in particular you want to go over, though?
Me? No, I'm actually, like I said, my main thing right now is I just have to read the data and then fix my conversation.
Hey, Will. So any of you other guys, any particular thing that you guys want to go over, or any particular things that you guys want to see? I see 3 of you guys just joined. Anybody? That's pretty much how I just always do my training. I just wait for you guys to tell me what you want to see, what you want to do.
Off topic, what kind of monkey you have?
Can I see George? I'm not sure what kind he is. I think he's a
Spider monkey or something?
no, I think he's a capuchin. He's this kind of monkey right here. He's a tired little monkey right now. He wants to sleep. He's so tired right now. He's this kind of monkey, though. He's a cool little monkey. He was a gift from one of my employees, so I'm one of my employees. They know that I like monkeys a lot. They know that I like monkeys a lot, so he bought him for me and gave him to me as a gift. He's really cool. I mean, he's a little asshole sometimes, but mostly real cool.
They're really smart, right?
Relatively sure. I mean, keep in mind that I feel like most of humanity is really, really stupid. So,
Right.
But yeah, relatively they're smarter than the average animal. So, by the way, this time's for you guys. By the way, I could talk. I can just sit and talk about random stuff, but this time's really for you guys, for anything that you want to actually learn. So, If there's anything that you want me to do or show you or teach you, then you just let me know, and I will do that. Will, you have anything that you want to learn, buddy? If not, I'll just go in and edit this. If you guys have something that, oh, I see that you said something. So let's take a look and see what you've put together so far. So far, so good. So far, the only thing that I would recommend is maybe put a little bit more effort into these two images right here, man, because this is cut off right here, and this is also cut off back here. So it looks great up here, but if you imagine that you're going to really be trying to pushing a lot of your traffic and a lot of your engagement into this spot, and granted, they're only going to see this once. I mean, they are only going to see this whenever they first subscribe, but a little bit of that you can still fix. And then that, so next thing I would say, give ManyChat $10. Please give them $10. If you don't have $10 to give them, go sign up to this. Go sign up to this. Go sign up to this training right here, and whenever you get in that training, I'll give you a coupon to upgrade for free because they give them to me. Or I'll give you access to a software of mine that's worth $100 if you just give them $10 because it's totally worth it. And it's just this is never good. But I mean, this is never good to have these powered by things, because what it does is it's always showing somebody that you are using the free version of something and not the actual paid version of some tool, which gives your brand an image. It literally gives you an unprofessional look to certain people. So I would want you to get rid of this right here, definitely, and not to tell anybody that you're powered by ManyChat. The next thing that I would want you to do is break this up right here, okay? What you did, I don't think was really good, okay? What you did is, as soon as I come here, see what you do? You give me, look what you do. I mean, I gotta scroll back up here to see your message. Why did you do that? Why did you just dump so much content at me? You couldn't have just given me a little bit of content and waited 3 seconds or 4 seconds for me to consume this content and then given me this other content. You definitely could have done that, right? And that would have been a lot more engaging than just dumping a bunch of stuff on me, right? And now you've already just dumped a bunch of content on me. Now I've got to scroll back up and go in and look at it. So break this up. Break these guys up right here. Let's say maybe put a delay right here. Best practice is you want to provide content. You want to provide content to a user in which they can consume it. Okay, so let's just rebuild this for you real quick. So this is nice. A best practice that I will always recommend anytime you do anything, even this welcome message, anytime you're ever going to do anything and you're going to have a flow and a sequence of messages that you're going to present to somebody, you just first come to this content section, you hit this new content button, you give that flow or sequence of messages, that dialogue that you want to do, you give that to, you give that as the content name, you give some useful name so that you can easily understand what that thing could be. And you get in the habit of doing that and creating reusable pieces of content that you can inject in other pieces of content, or that you can reference and link to from any growth tool really easily, so that once you create that one piece of content generically, you can now reference it multiple times without having to recreate it. You can reference it really easy. You can find it really easy, and you'll exponentially save a lot of time in the long run. So if you can put yourself in the habit of actually doing that, then that's going to save you a whole lot of time. So you just want to go in and grab this guy right here and put him right here, hit that delay button right there, and put this guy right here, put him in some new guy right there. Come over. Hey, let's come back there. Where are you at? And let's open our little buddy demo bot, and let's clear his conversation. And then let's just push this out to ourselves. See, that stays nice in one page. Didn't have enough time to read it, so let's increase another second and see if that gives me enough time to read it. Because like I said, what you really want to do is you want to match content with consumption, okay? And the reason I'll tell you that, and maybe most marketers may tell you that, the good ones, maybe people won't tell you that, but from a lean concept and everything I look at, I'm not a marketer, man. I'm not a salesperson. I am an engineer. That is what I am. That's what I am at core. That's what I've always done. From a lean mentality, you want to match flow with capacity, because that's how you maximize, right? And that's what you want to do here. You want to match consumption times. You want to deliver content only as it's being consumed, and you don't want to deliver a bunch of content and then wait for somebody else to go and consume it. You want to deliver a chunk of content, let that get consumed, and as that get consumed, start delivering your next pieces of content, because that's how you're going to keep your user engaged. If you dump a bunch of content off of them, if they don't know what that content is going to be about, most of the time you're just going to turn them off. So that's what we're going to do here. So now see that content's on that one screen. And sorry, when someone does something to my bot sends me a notification, and that's what happened in the middle of that flow. So I think you could probably maybe still wait one more second, and then give them that next message, right? Because now, right around the time that they're done, or they're actually done, and maybe they have like 500 milliseconds after they've finished reading this, then the next piece of content just naturally comes in, and it's a more natural flow. So now you needed to go in and figure out what you have here, this menu. Let's see what your menu is. Main menu, new arrivals, empowered my mini chat. So you can get your hours.
Oh, how did you miss that? I was super confident that I was going to make that. I do. I don't know why.
I'll actually see where that opened up your place in Google Maps. So far, I mean, other than that, so far I'm liking how you've done something good where you're most of the time you're giving, I mean, every time you've given a call to action to trigger some new interaction. So I see a lot of people that don't do that. So that's good. I mean, to always give those call to actions back. So you had hours, directions. I think you just linked into that from your other menu. That was the same thing. See, that one's actually working though. You see this one is working. That first one wasn't actually working. So that first one I got from hours, directions, and then you had this sure. That sure one doesn't work. See, that sure one's opening up my location. That second one opened up your location. So you may want to fix that. Any reason you're not delivering these latest arrivals in the any reason you're not creating you're not delivering these in the bot itself? Any reason you're kicking them off of there? And that's pretty much the same thing here. That main menu triggers that content. That new arrivals triggers that, and that's the end of your functionality. Do you know who the the person's name, Colin? You know it beforehand? So you could use this only for you flow?
YouTube.
And then, yeah, you can just go in and do a condition. And in this condition, you can just say, hey.
Ja, ezért akarnak játszani Facebookot, vagy mi?
Here you can just go in and make this condition that just says, hey, follow these conditions are true. And it's going to be this guy's full name is, hey, come back here. If this guy's full name I hope you guys are, I really hope you guys are liking that. I'm going to post this on your wall, by the way. I'm going to post this on your wall, and I know you guys will be nice enough to go in and fix that. Because that's just, I mean, that has nothing to do with me. So, but who cares? We can work around that. No problem. We can work around that, but you should fix that. If you fix that, that would be nice and awesome. I don't know where you just sent me. So I need to go back to this. You just sent me to a weird spot, but let's go back here. So now what we need to do, since if I hit full name, somehow it just creates some weird, seriously? Well, not sure. Let's try it again. All right. So I really can't tell you what's going on there because I'm not doing anything except for just trying to pick somebody's name. So let's try that again. And yeah, I would just use the full name, and then you could just use that full name. I mean, ideally, you could use that full name, but it doesn't look like you could use that. It doesn't look like you can use that full name right now. Because it looks like if you use a name, then mini chat goes crazy. So if you could just give me like 30 seconds real quick, but it doesn't look like you can do that right now. So but yeah, that's what you would do essentially. So if it works for you, that's great. And for some reason for me, it's just going completely crazy for me. So I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm imagining that, but I'm pretty sure I'm not imagining that. I'm almost certain that's really happening. Any knives there? So guys, what would you like to know? What would you like to see? This is time that I set aside just for you guys. So there's 8 of you. So surely one of you guys has something that you don't know yet or you'd like to learn. Maybe not. Maybe you guys want to teach me something then. Anything, guys?
Everybody else.
So let's see. You guys did say a couple things. So you're promoting a 5-day challenge now via giveaway and thinking how can I incorporate bots into the process? How do you go about doing a Facebook ad using the comment feature in order that the bot will respond, which currently has too many moving parts? Okay, I think one that's coming from you, how you can incorporate the process and bots into the process, which currently has too many parts. What's the best way to use bot to increase organic traffic without Facebook ads? So the best way to do that. So to answer your question first, the best way to do that is every single post that you make some. Every single post that you make, go in and actually make some. Go in and make some growth tool. So for all your posts, go in and make some comment growth tool for each post, so that every post you're putting on your page, if anybody that comments on that gets engaged into the bot. So you can go in and do that. You can create those growth tools, create other growth tools like ref links, and the different buttons. So that's the best way. Obviously, is you're going to have to create a growth tool. So if you're not wanting to have ads, go in and create a growth tool. Make sure that on your Facebook page, that you have a clear call to action to Messenger, like this guy does. I would probably get rid of the call now, maybe, if what I'm trying to focus on is
Don't pass it when you can't pass it no more.
if what I'm trying to focus on. And if you guys have your mic on and you guys are just gonna like be making noise on other stuff, it would be awesome if you could just mute your mic so that I don't have to mute everybody. Because sometimes people, when they're actually engaging in voice conversations, they forget to unmute yourself. So, so make sure you have this message on your page, and this is your actual call to action, if that's what you're wanting to do. And you are going to have to use your business page. You can only put a bot on your business page. It can't be on your personal page. So if you want, I will just show you that. I'll just show you that while we're here. You said how to do this. How do you go about doing a Facebook ad using the comment feature in order the bot will respond? So first, you need to have a Facebook ad. Okay. So could you just answer me one question? Could you tell me how you create your Facebook ads, whether you create a post and then promote the post, or whether you just go into the ads manager and create a new ad? Which way you create your ads? Okay. So first you need to create your ad. This ad is going to go, good night. So now I'm going to use this opportunity to show you some of the things that you can actually do with your ads. All right. And I'm going to try something I've never done before just to see if it's possible. So hopefully you already understand this ads manager. I'm just going to use business owners. I've got targeted 95,000 people. These are people between the age of 30 to 50 who have behaviors where they're small business owners. They're interested in Facebook Messenger and they're interested in automation. So I'm going to target those guys. I'm just going to do automatic placements. And I'm going to run this guy. What's today, the 24th? I'll run him until Sunday. And I'll just continue. I'm going to use some single image. And I mean, obviously I should spend some time optimizing this, but I'm not going to spend all that time optimizing this. I should spend some time optimizing this. Now, what I want to do first is I want to get some reference URL, and I want to see if Facebook will let me put that in my ad, because I don't know if they will let me do that or not. I never tried that before. So let's copy that guy. And let's actually go in and just pop him in here. See what that does. See what that does? That pops in just that. Pops in that flow that I just created. Just only that message is what it does. It just pops in that message that I just created. Whenever you go to that URL, it just pops right in, pops the user right into that message. That's all it does. So that's what the ref URL does. So I just wanted to get that to see if I'm able to put that inside there. And it looks like I can. So there's all that. I've done that. I'm just going to put on a message. So here's my ad. Now just remember, like I said several times, guys, I am an engineer. I'm not a marketer. I'm not a salesperson. So if you think my content's stupid, then that's because that's not my job, and my job's an engineer. So anyways, here's my message, all right? There's my message. I've got my ref tool in there, so that's one growth tool. So if somebody clicks on this link, they're going to go to that particular flow right there. If somebody clicks on that link, all right? Anybody that clicks on that link is going to get this message right here. And then I can go in and obviously make that message whatever flow in whatever sequence that I want. I just use this little tiny simple one just for that. So now that growth tool is there. So now I'm actually going to call this three-way ad tool. Because that's what that is. That's a ref. That's a ref growth tool. So I'm going to save that guy. Now, I need to go back to these growth tools. I got that three-way going on. So I'm going to do a three-way add JSON growth tool. And I'm going to use this JSON guy. This is a pro feature, so you want to make sure that you're pro. So this is a pro feature, so I'm going to go in and do the same thing. I'm going to edit this guy right here. So there's that. All right. And this guy, I would just advise, don't put that in there. I'm just showing you that you can. I would just advise, don't put that in there. So there's my flow. You can see how that works. All right. That's how it looks. If somebody comes to this ad is a messenger ad. So it has messenger as a destination. And if a user clicks on that ad, they are going to interact with that message just like that. So if I actually go look at my ads, I can show you an example of one before we actually fully create this one. And then we'll finish creating this one. I'll just show you an example of exactly what they look like, just in case you don't know what they actually look like. And here's one right here. This is what they look like. See, here's an ad. It has a send message objective. As soon as you click it, you get some message coming from your JSON. If you interact with it and click with it, then it continues on your different flow. Okay, so that would be your flow. This, for example, would be that first step that I was just presented with right there. This is going to be the reply next. So I'm going to publish that because that's all I literally want in this guy. I don't want anything else in this guy. I think that's enough for now. So now I can go in and set up. Now once I set up, I'm getting this JSON. I'm going to give this back to Facebook in my ads manager right here where it says set up messages. I'm going to skip this standard message. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to stick this stuff right in here. I'm going to delete all that garbage, stick that stuff in there. I can preview that in Messenger, and you can see there's that thing that I just created, right? There's that message. That message right there. He's right there. If I hit this, tell me everything, then you can see there's that next message in my flow right there. Now, if I wanted to actually go ahead and do this successfully, then I think what I should do is go in. What I should do is go in and use this message right here, because that's a better message. And that's a whole nother flow. So that's a whole nother flow. So I'm just going to route to that guy. So now that I've routed to that guy, if you see, and I go back to my ads manager and I preview this in Messenger, now whenever I click that, oh, so first, before I click that, what I need to actually do, that's published. I need to come back over here. I need to get this JSON, because what's actually changed, you guys would look at this and think everything's the same, but what's actually changed is this payload, because that's the postback payload that represents that next flow that they would send out. So I need to grab that. And then if I grab that, you would be able to see that that guy and that guy, see those payloads are different. That's the only thing that would have changed. And so if you guys go in and edit that stuff on the back end and you think they're going to continue to work, they're not going to continue to work because it's a new payload there. As you can see, this one starts with a B50. The one that we had before did not start with that B50. See, he starts with a completely different guy. So we're going to delete that and then give him back that new stuff. And then now we can come in and hit tell me everything. And now you can see we're in a whole different flow there. So now that's complete. So now our ad's actually complete. All right, so we're gonna be done with that. And I think that we're done with this ad. So we're gonna confirm that, and we're gonna actually be done with that. So now we're just gonna continue. So now here is that ad that we just created. So now what I wanna do is I wanna come here. I wanna go to preview. And I want to go to Facebook post with comments. There's that ad that we just created that's in review. You see, I can click that button, pops me up that message, right? I can click this ref link. Whenever I click that ref link, it takes me to that other flow that I created, that completely different flow. Remember that other completely different flow that I made there? And then I can grab this post ID right here. And then I can come right back here and I can come right here and I can do this. And I can create this Facebook comment tool. And I can come here to settings and select a post, and I can give that dark post. That's what that thing's called. It's called a dark post. So I can give that dark post and select that guy. I should be able to check that guy. So let's check again and see. So that I should be able to check. So this could be possibly because this ad is actually pending review, or maybe it actually got rejected. So I think this is because it's actually pending review. So let's just get rid of that guy and grab this other guy right here. And find that same post ID. You see, that grab that guy. I don't want to track first level comments only. So Phil says that it happens to him whenever it's in preview. That it's only going to work after it's actually approved, and that's what I'm thinking too. But so that's how you do this. By the way, how do you go about doing a Facebook ad and using the comment tool? So I'm just actually waiting for this to get approved. But why that's getting approved, I'm pretty sure this already has I'm almost certain that this guy right here already actually has a comment growth tool on him. I'm fairly certain that he has a comment growth tool on him already. See, because it's got a response. It says see response. So that tells me he already has one on him. Like I've literally already replied to him. So if I was to do something, if I was to comment again, it wouldn't do anything because I've already commented and I've already got a response. Good night. But that's all you would do is you would go in and get that ID there. You get this ID, this dark post ID, you grab that, and then you just put that in here, right there. And then you just finish everything up. You just come in and confirm this. You can track first level comments only if you want to. You can change when you're gonna send this out. You can exclude comments with keywords, only trigger for certain keywords. You can go in and then change this. And then you can set up what your opt-in action is going to be. I always just I always just send it to everybody that replies is what I always do. And then I just edit this. And whenever we edit this, let's just make this a little interesting one here. So that's all my flow is going to be right there. Now this is a complete nonsense flow. I'm not doing anything great here, right? All I'm doing is doing a conditional check to see if these guys are male. And if they're male, I'm going to send them something that says you're a man. If they're female, I'm going to send them something that says you're a lady. And then I'm just going to tell them that bots are cool and they can help in so many ways. And then I'm going to come back over here to this little ads manager. And I'm going to see if these guys can approve my ad. And I guess they can't approve my ad, but the last piece of the puzzle would be to come in here because I've got everything else done right. So everything else is done. This guy's published. He's published. So this guy's all set up. His auto response is set up. His opt-in message is set up. So I just need to change that. To change that, I just need to come here and come here. And come here and then go to this ad preview and then see my Facebook post with comments. See that thing. And then grab that thing. And then hit change post. Hey, there he is. So even though he's not done, there he is. So now I want to save that thing. And I want to activate that. I want to say that it's explicit. And then activate that. So now I got a three-way ad, right? Who doesn't like three ways? I think everybody likes three ways when they're ads. So now if somebody comes in and clicks on this link, because if you leave a link in here, sometimes they will click on that. They can click on this link and they can be routed into one flow. They can click on this send message button, which is actually the call to action button. They can click on that and they can get a completely different flow, or they can comment on this post, as you can see. They can also come in and actually comment on it. And now you should see once they comment on it, after a little second, DemoBot messages them because of that comment tool. And it says, hey, you want to know more about bots, right? Damn right I do. And then you can just send them some message. And then he should have actually replied to you already. Why didn't he reply back to me? Oh, there he goes. He said, you are a man. That's that. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. That's a delay somewhere between Facebook firing off postbacks and ManyChat server firing off postbacks. So there's a lot of actual technology going to provide this functionality. So you can see he fired that off, and right now he's still doing some undefined hit. Right now he's still doing some undefined typing right now. Where he said, you are the man, and then he sent that. So didn't perform exactly how we were expecting. He was a little bit delayed, but you can see now that's a triple threat, man. Somebody comes in here, and no matter what they do on this ad, if they interact with this ad whatsoever, they click on your link in here, or they click on this guy right here. See, he just clicked on that and he got that message, or he comments on it. Now guess what? They're subscribed into your messenger. So that's how you do that. That's how you do that. That you should be able to do. See your opt-in message. It's whatever opt-in message that you want. And you can scan that and go to just that particular flow. So yes, you can put them in whatever flow that you want to. That's completely up to you. You just go in to find that flow in the opt-in actions. What else?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Nothing else? Is that it? You guys don't have anything else that you want me to go over? How long's it been working? I'm not sure what you mean by how long it's been working. But I can't answer these other questions. How long it's been working? I built it, I guess like a week and a half ago. I built it. It took about 5.5 hours, 6 hours to build that demo restaurant bot, if you're talking about that. How have they been working? Yeah, so I've got all sorts of people that go in and actually look at the different demo bots and interact with the demo bots. I don't promote any of this stuff other than just in this mini chat community. I just put stuff in my bots because that was my target. It was that mini chat community. And Will, you just want to tag somebody, so that's all you want to do. You just want to tag somebody. So let's create a new content. What's up, George? Let's create a new content. And what we could do in this content, we could start off with an action where we could tag a user. He entered this flow. All right. And then we can create another tag and put this tag down here. So now we created an entered and an exit tag. All right. So this guy entered into our flow. He entered into this categorize. He entered into this categorize people based on their responses. Right. And then so here you can easily do this multiple choice. Skip this guy. Create some custom field for this, whatever you want to call this. We can just call this response if you want to. I would recommend using a more meaningful name, but I don't quite know what we're going to do with this data and what the meaning of it is. So I don't have any more meaningful name. No problem, Juan. Just so you know, replays are only available if you pay me money. So you got to pay me $10 a month if you want to see the actual replays. If you don't want to pay me $10 a month, then you just got to stay up all day, every day to get the content that I produce. So if you want to stay up all day, every day, I do. I'm up 20 hours a day. I run a company full time, and I also give you guys about 4 to 6 hours a day just doing live training for you. So you can either stay up and be live on it, or like I said, you can pay me $10 a month and I'll give it to you. That's the only way you can get the replays, though. And I'm just mentioning that not because I need your $10 a month or because I want your $10 a month, just because you mentioned that you were just going to go watch the replays. So I want to make sure that they're actually available if you want to watch it. So we got these two different replies now, right? So what we can do now is actually create this condition. Move this condition over here. He'll only let me create an action group. So since he'll only let me create an action group, then I'll just move this condition right here. And then here, I'll create some action group. And then here, I'll actually create another condition. And then here, I'll tag a user, or I'll actually set custom field value. And I could set a user. I could tag them, or I could set a custom field value. So I don't actually need to set a custom field value because I already have a custom field value there, right? I've already set that custom field value. As soon as they enter that, I've stuck this data into their custom field. But if I want to tag them, so I could filter them like that, obviously, right? They're already in buckets because I've collected that user input from them. So I can already go in and filter if that user input equals whatever that bucket is, that bucket being the data that they put in right here, right? So that could be their bucket. I can go in and filter based on this response. I can go in and say, hey, if response to this question was pond, then do something. If response to this question was aquarium, then do something. So that's obviously a bucket. So I can add another arbitrary bucket if I want to here called tag, and I can tag this dude with a pond. And then I can add another arbitrary bucket here called add tag, and I can tag this guy with an aquarium based on a bucket that I have already, where I can say, hey, if this condition is, that was response, if that is aquarium, then tag them with aquarium. Else, if this guy is pond, then do something else. So if he's pond, do that. If he's not, check to see if he's that. And then now I can go in and create some message. So now I can go in and see that flow, and I can say, hey, you love fish, right? Where would you rather see them? Pond, aquarium. And ManyChat's working on their server again. That's why this has that delay there, because they're actually working on their server. And I said, got it. I'll put all my fish in an aquarium. I just gave you back your response. And if I come in here and I come look at my audience, I can see I should have an aquarium, and I got one user tag there. That was me. So there's a bucket with those guys. All right. And then if I wanted to, I could come over here And I could say allow free text input. Also allow free text input. So now I can preview that. And I can do that. So you see how that works? That's how you can put them in buckets. So anything else? Anything else, guys? Subo's still here? Well, I need it done. I've been asking for it to be done for a week. You guys got anything else that you want to go over? Anything else that you want to see? You too, Colin. Thanks for your support, by the way, man. I really appreciate that. And just in case you guys don't know, if you want to, you can always, if you want to access these replays and stuff, you can go inside my bot and you can access premium content by giving me $10 a month. You don't have to, but I will take your money if you want to give it to me, and I will put it to a good cause. Trust me on that. It will go to a very, very valuable cause, and then your $10 will compound and turn into even more and more money. This guy, this guy said he has a budget of 30. So let's do this right here. Okay, let's go in and find out where I need my own bot. I'm pretty sure this is this high post right here. So since you guys aren't telling me you need anything, let's go in here and preview this and find out where this I need my own bot is. I need my own bot. It's right here. You see how it's its own flow. I need my own bot. So let's add some conditional logic to this guy real quick to laugh at people whenever they give me really low budgets. So whenever he says yes. So I'm going to add that. So now let's do some conditional logic and go to some next step. And then let's just say bot budget. And we actually need to change this and say this is a number. It needs to be a number if we're going to, it needs to be a number if we're going to run conditional checks against it to check the value to be greater than or equal to or less than something. Okay. So now we're going to do a bot budget value. So there's that. So we're going to come over here and we're going to check our condition if bot budget value is less than or equal to 0. Then we're going to do that. So now we're just going to create a couple cascading conditions. So if his budget is less than or equal to 0, or if his budget is less than or equal to 100, or if his budget is less than or equal to 1,000, or if his budget is greater than 1,000. So let's link all these conditions and basically make some if-else blocks. Never actually get this. So let's preview that guy and see. I do have a budget. It's 500. So he said that's a small budget. So you see, that was less than or equal to 1,000. He got a small budget. Let's say he's a 0. No budget. He's 100. That 100 should be big budget. No, that's a joke budget. Oh, it's less than or equal to 100. So that's a joke budget. So anything less than or equal to 1,000 is a small budget. So now he gave an extra $1 and that becomes a big budget. So there is no condition that is going to fire this last message off, by the way. So now I just added some conditional logic to go in there and respond back to I'm going to continue over here and ask him what he can trade since he has no budget. So since he doesn't have a big budget, I'm going to route him over there too to see what else he can give and trade. So now that flow's done. So I'm asking one more time, is there anything else that you guys want to do? Because if not, I'm going to end this training session and do something else. Maybe lay down in this cozy bed down here for a little bit with my wife for a little bit. So you just tell me, is there anything else that you'd actually like to go over and see? If so, then we can do that. If not, then we can all go about our separate ways and enjoy our days. Anything, guys? Anything at all? See, DemoBot. DemoBot's always receiving new messages. Everybody's always messaging DemoBot. He's pretty active. You see, you can access that if you want. You see this person went to the multiple choice quiz. They said, teach me how to do it. But instead of teaching them how, look, if I go, this is what can you do? Tell me everything. So I can actually get back to that guy if I just say hi. It says, what can you do? Now, if you look, she said, what can you do? I'm giving that same flow that I'm giving right there. Gave that same flow. She picked multiple choice quiz. See, she picked multiple choice quiz. She got that. 2 options, take the quiz or teach me how. Now you see, whenever she said teach me how, she said I send her a message. I can show you how to do anything with your bot. Make at least 22 tutorials a week. If you want to have access to all of these, I need your help supporting me with $10 a month. Please use whatever email address on file for you to make on the payment page for your email address. And then I give her a link that she can open up right in Messenger and pay right in Messenger and never have to leave Messenger. But look, I gave myself the premium training. Like whenever I did it, I actually got the content of how to do it. Only thing is I need to actually put the video link there because the video link isn't actually there. So I got the premium content because I pay for the membership. I pay the $10 a month. At least the bot thinks I pay for it because I tell the bot I pay for it. So you can use your bot to be a paid membership bot and deliver premium content, whether or not somebody pays, or premium content based on particular variables and particular buckets or tags or conditions that you set inside the logic. See, I can see somebody just signed up for my bot training. That's where these people come from. These people are coming from signing up for my bot training right here. So they went in and signed up for my bot training, wanted to see conditional logic, wanted to see how, actually they signed up for my bot training some time ago on the 17th. So now they saw one of my ads actually. Anyways, I gave you guys a good chance to let me know if you wanted to actually see anything, or if you want to go over anything, but it doesn't seem like you guys want me to teach you anything, or it doesn't seem like you guys want to go over anything at all. See, now this is a good example. This guy did the same thing, multiple choice quiz. And I asked him for his email address. If you look, this other person here, when they did multiple choice quiz, see, when she did multiple choice quiz, I didn't ask her for her email address because she had already given me her email address. I know that because I'm referencing her email address here. So since she already gave me her email address, I skipped it and went right into telling her she needs to pay me that $10 a month. So this guy, whenever he said multiple choice quiz, I realized I don't have, and then he said, teach me how, just like she did. I realized I don't have his email address. So before I prompted him and told him I need him to actually pay me for this content first, I said, hey, could you give me your email address? Because he's thinking if I give my email address, I'll get this content and I'll learn how to do that. And not so much, buddy. You're going to have to pay that $10 to get that premium content. But I still want that email address. So I captured his email address. Now that I captured his email address, now I prompt him to go in and say, yep, I can give it to you, but you need to go pay me, and make sure you use this email that you just gave me whenever you make the payment so that I can make a relation between you. I can see this person did just sign up for training though just now. So this person just went in, signed up for the bot training. Which is this training right here. So he went in and signed up for this training right here. Let's see how many people have signed up for that training so far. See, there's Damien right there. There's Damien right there. 350 people have signed up to this training. That's limited to 50 seats. So that was our goal, to fill that up to 50 seats, to get 50 seats to sign up to our bot training. So basically introduce myself into the mini chat community as part of another training module to show you how to do a particular thing that we're not going to talk so much about here, because that is a paid training that I don't want to give you guys a bunch of information about, because it's $1,000 paid training. And if somebody else watches this video and they realize I'm giving you guys the same content, but they're paying me $1,000 to give them, they're probably not going to be super happy about that. But in that training module, part of that training module, we went in and took over a group. We introduced ourselves into an actual group, and then started giving value, just started giving value, to use that value that we're giving as an opportunity to create this natural influx of people who are wanting to engage with you and consume your content, because you're just giving this valuable content away, just like I'm doing right now, just giving you guys a lot of valuable content for free, not asking anything in return for it. So as part of that training, our goal that we set was to go in and just create some course that is specific, that a certain group on Facebook, because there's a lot of Facebook groups, that a certain group would be interested in consuming that content. And we targeted mini chat because you should target something that you're actually good at and you're passionate about. And one of my things that I really like is bots and building bots, especially in ManyChat, because it's so awesome. So we targeted that group, started giving value out, gave a bunch of value out. After giving value out, set up an actual training course that we could go in and actually have that training course and our goal was to get 50 users into that training course for free, but still, even though it's a free course, monetize it and prove that we could actually make some revenue off of giving a free value. So we're offering a free value, but we're still going to be able to collect revenue from giving that free value. So you can see our goal was 50 users. We got 7 times that many users. The training actually hasn't started yet. This has been 350 people over, let's see how long I think this is like 6 days, 9 days. So 9 days ago, so over 10 days, over 10 days, we got those 350 people, 351 people now. And were we able to monetize it and actually make any money from it? Not a lot, but on average, 140 bucks a day, let's say. I'm not sure if this is a good EPC or not. On average, $1 per click, 47% conversion ratio, 41% action ratio, and then an 11% action ratio on a higher ticket item. So I don't know if that's good or not because I'm an engineer, not a marketer. So that's where that guy came from. So I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to learn anything else because I've been asking you if there was anything else that you wanted to learn, and you guys haven't put anything in the box or anything. So good night, good morning, see you later. I'm going to end this training session. It's been great. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for you guys that actually engaged, all you guys that just sat there and watched. Thanks for that too. I will see you guys later, maybe on the next session.